You have mentioned before, I'm going to be in the kitchen and we're going to just go at it.
Babe, what's happening
What is
right
the
now?
status of the kitchen?
If there are kids around,
it has to be clean. Think about how many things have to be in place. The kitchen has to be clean.
Yes.
The dishwasher has to be off.
It could be going.
Oh, the dishwasher could be going. Okay, so
Sound.
just barely clean. just cleaned.
Clean, like countertops clear.
Countertops clear.
Because how are you going to do anything? Actually, on the countertops is not a good look either.
We got very tall countertops.
Yeah.
So...
Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm BELEAF Mel.
And we're here with episode 191 of
How Married Are You? Okay, my name BELEAF. This is Yvette. Married 13 years. Live in California. Got 4 kids. Relationship scary. Very necessary. Share a lot of struggle. Ask how married are you? Hey, Tuesday, Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time. It's chocolate
baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and...
It's chocolate baby story time.
All right, I'm going to go.
Okay.
You sent me on a mission this morning. Anaya's hair. She walked in the room and was like, she walked in the bathroom. I'm getting out of the shower. She's like, I need you to help me with Anaya's hair and affirm her because she is not liking this hair and I think it is so cute. And I came out of the bathroom and I was like, oh my goodness.
Nailed it.
Your hair is so beautiful.
It.
She started blushing. And
oh my goodness.
She was like, I don't know what she was saying before I got there. But she was like, by the time I was done, she was like, I look like a principal. I was like, yeah, you like Auntie Shan and da-da-da-da. Like, I was like, trying to encourage her in every way. And I nailed it, right?
You nailed it. And what was beautiful about it is that when she went downstairs, I heard Theo say, oh, Anaya, your hair is nice.
Wow.
Which siblings, they compliment each other, but that was unsolicited.
Yeah.
So, and then she got to school and Janae was like, she was really feeling her hair. It looks so good, yada, yada, yada. So by the time she was at school, she was loving her hair.
That's what I'm talking about. Though that is so important.
Yes.
That can be a whole fatherhood
episode,
motherhood episode, parenting. Anyway.
Just affirm those kids.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a chocolate baby
this
story
morning with Uzi. Hello.
With Uzi?
You dropped him off at school?
Oh, guys. So last week was the first week of, so the kids, we homeschool, but they go 1 day a week to an enrichment program. And so last week was the first week of school. I didn't expect Uzi to last all day. Didn't expect it. I thought he was going to throw a fit. He wouldn't want me to leave, yada, yada, yada. But turns out he walked right in. I was the one that was crying. Well, the roles are reversed this week. You have to sign all the kids in. I got 4 kids to sign in. So I start with Uzi and I go all the way up to Theo. Well, by the time I get back over to where I'm about to leave, I see Uzi standing in line and I can see his eyes are very emotional. But I ignore it. I'm like, no, it's okay. He's fine. And I felt like if I went over there, it would be worse. I turn around. I'm talking to some other parents. I turn back around. That boy is boo-hoo crying.
Mm-hmm.
So sad. So sad. Mm-hmm. I go up to him and I said, no.
You gave him a hug?
I hugged him. I was like, what's wrong? He could not even communicate what happened, what was wrong with him, anything. I think I don't even know what happened. Anyways, I was like, I'll hold your hand. I'll walk you in. Da, 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 da. And the teacher is like, no, I'll walk him in. And so she holds his hand and she's all calm, but I'm like freaking out. And she takes him. They walk in. I don't leave. I'm like, Monette was there. So I was like, Monette, go check on Uzi, make sure he's not crying. Because I felt like if he saw me, then maybe he might get emotional again. And she walked back there. She's like, he's fine. And then I got a couple of pictures from the classroom aide. And he was fine. Sure enough, he was fine.
Yeah.
But man, I was like, all right, it's just going to be me and Uzi on Mondays.
I think he thought possibly that this whole school thing for him was just a one-time thing. You know?
I don't think so, because he got a lunch pail, backpack. He knew what was up. He got a new water bottle.
Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to How Married Are You? We're so excited to have you guys here. We, just coming off of our How Married Are You live, our first live event was supposed to be our first opportunity to make money. But we ain't make no money. And that's okay, because we understand that even though it's not profitable, it's still profitable. Okay, can I get an amen to somebody?
I don't think we were counting on making money. I think we were hoping to break even.
I don't think we were on the same page.
Something sounds weird.
Because I am always trying to make something to pay these bills. So yeah, if you love us and you feel like you're about to step into a relationship, you're about to do something that, and you want to make sure you're making the right decision, make sure you sign up for the Premarital Advantage, which is our e-course. This e-course is a supplement to, not a replacement, a supplement to premarital counseling. We are not counselors, but we do give you all the questions that we wish we would have asked each other, the questions that we did ask each other, the right conversations and all that stuff. You take it along with your partner. You take it by yourself. It's a workbook. You can take it with a men's group, a girls, women's group, whatever. I think it's really important. So make sure that you guys sign up for that. It's $250. And we be giving them away sometimes when we have very interesting questions. Do we have a topic today? People want to hear us talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about
I think we should do, okay, I got this. I think we should do a 7-day sex challenge. 7 days, what?
I didn't say anything.
7-day sex challenge. And then we just report back to the people after we're done. See if we made it all 7 days. Because you know what happens? Like 4 days in a row, kind of like, man, this is...
This is a lot.
This is a lot.
Well, I just want to point out that I have therapy tonight.
So it's not happening tonight.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway.
We'll do the 7-day challenge. I think this is a good week. We're going to be away a couple of nights by ourselves.
Yeah. 7-day sex challenge. And then what we'll do is we'll tell, because people asked about the scheduling sex and how it's not romantic and da-da-da-da. And you was on that for a minute. So we're going to have to let these people understand why it's important to schedule sex. Maybe we'll talk about that next episode.
I also want to talk about, because I feel like I got roasted on Instagram.
For what?
Or somewhere. I think it was Instagram. And I was like...
What you get roasted for?
Because it was a clip about... It was the last clip where you were talking about how you were ready, but then I changed my mind.
Yeah.
But I told you just be ready just in case. I didn't say whatever. But there's this one comment. I think I screenshotted it. And they were basically saying, Yvette, you need to do better. Like they just kind of went in on me. And I was like, okay.
I didn't see that.
And I was like, I have been doing better.
Oh, you're
but
doing
I
amazing.
think that there's an expectation that I always have to initiate now. And I think that you can initiate too.
But how would she know that? How would the person...
I don't know, but because you were talking about how you kind of put it all, you kind of put the ball in my court. If Yvette doesn't, it's kind of from that clip, it would probably seem as though if Yvette's not into it, then we're not doing it. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so that is also something that
Where's my phone?
I live by.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to have sex if you're not into it.
I know, but you will have sex with me if you're tired.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying...
Because I can always get into it.
Same
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
I didn't know that.
You do know that. We just had this conversation.
No.
Oh my goodness. We had it at How Married Are You Live, and Brittany gave us the vocabulary for it. It's like a reactive.
Oh.
What did she call it?
Yeah, react. Yeah. But here's the thing. Sometimes we will talk about something. It will go through a process with you, but it'll stay at the surface with me.
It'll go through a process.
Yeah, so you'll think about it. We'll talk about it. We'll mention it, but we won't have a discussion or debrief from it. Mm-hmm. Now think about it. After we had that conversation at How Married Are You Live, we didn't talk for 4 days, about us, because we were coming off the event and we were checking back in with the kids. We were getting everything going, getting back to work, etc. I got sick. So we didn't really talk about anything that we learned from that point. So we didn't really talk about it. We talked about it in front of people live, which was kind of one of our first times doing that. So I don't know if that counts as a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about reactive versus
true.
active or something.
But I felt like we had the vocabulary term and for it. So now you should understand that's who I am.
Yeah. See, I see how you took it through a whole process and I just stayed at the top.
But this is what the person said. Oh, it was a whole thing. First, they started out by saying, scheduled sex is whack. What happened to backseat of my Jeep? Let's swing an episode. Tell them kids.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I saw that comment, but from that point, I just was like, this person is stupid.
Yeah. And then somebody responded, I agree. It just gets frustrating based on your partner's view of sex. If we both have sex on schedule, but they are at different levels of priority, then one spouse may want to reschedule, cancel, and the other may not. I think that's just a conversation about...
It's just a conversation.
Terms, like, what are the terms? Like, we say it's going to happen, it's going to happen type thing. Now, then this person, the original person responds and says, listen, no shade to Mrs. Melanin, but she got to find her freak because that marital bedroom might be dusty. Old boy is on go 24/7. Sis, let's go. Quick keys, be the best keys. Throw your man up against a wall or something.
Ugh. Sounds violent. And it, you know what I'm saying?
And I was just like, I screenshotted it because I was like, do I want to respond to this? Do I want to come back to this? Do I want to whatever? But I was like, this is not fair.
It's not.
Because it's like, I was the one that was like, let's resume scheduled sex. I feel like lately I've been trying to take the initiative as far as initiating sex.
And what does that look like?
Well, what do you mean? What does it look like?
What do you mean by that? You said
like the last few times we've had sex, I feel like I initiated it.
Okay.
When's the last time you've initiated sex?
I don't know.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm like, Mrs. Melanin has stepped her game up. And maybe
absolutely.
I mean,
so I need to give you your flowers and tell you that and let people know.
I guess it doesn't have to be public knowledge. I guess, yeah. I guess this just comes with the territory of sharing your life online.
Well, no.
People not having a full...
I would say I would say that your appetite, I guess we're doing a sex episode.
No, we don't have to do a sex episode. We can do it after the 7-day challenge.
Okay, so I just want to say publicly.
Stop. Let's move on to the topic. We got emails, y'all.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me say this though, because I feel like it's good to know. So, Yvette, everything's changed, right? In a lot of different ways with you. But specifically, I think that, you know, your appetite for it has increased and all that stuff. I just want to say that, like, these people are just people. They only get a glimpse of what they hear or we allow them to hear on the podcast, not necessarily what is active and what's, you know what I'm saying? So,
They're going to draw assumptions.
That one instance was like, it was your idea. And I was like, all right, cool. We're about to start this thing again. I'm mentally prepared. I'm eating whatever I got to eat. I'm doing what I got to do. And I was just kind of like, are we doing it or not? That was the question. And we couldn't get a good answer on that. And that's okay. But I think that people are still holding to the older version of yourself.
And I think that the snippets we pull are always when I'm not that into it.
Okay.
But whatever.
Maybe it's the most entertaining.
Yeah, it probably is. I think the point of that snippet was sex day. If you know you're getting some, you prep.
Yeah, you prep.
You're mindful.
What does
like
sex
I
prep
wouldn't
look
eat
like?
ice cream. You know what I'm saying? That would just be disastrous. You
Right.
shower. You put a little deodorant
Yeah, and we
on.
shower every
You
day.
shave.
Because somebody said I didn't shower. They're like, oh, well, you're not going to shower, homeboy? Homeboy don't shower. And I'm like, nah, it's not that. It's just that if I'm going to have sex, then I'm going to shower before she gets home. Because I'll shower like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll shower before I get into bed. But if I know that if we're going to have sex, I'll shower like at 9 or 8. Which is like ridiculous for me. But, because I'm not in the bed that early.
All right.
All right, so 7-day challenge. I don't know when we're going to start, but by the time you hear us next time,
We will have
maybe on day 4. or something.
Okay. I'm not even going to say when we're going to start because then I'm going to be held accountable to what I say. So, which is important.
Okay. So
Oh, Lord, here we go.
I had this question for you.
Okay, what's the question?
Because you have often, like, I'm just very cautious on like offending you, right? Or like being too aggressive. Like I don't ever want to cross that line where you don't feel safe. That's super important to me. So you have mentioned before, I'm gonna be in the kitchen and we're gonna just go at it.
Babe, what's happening
What is
right
the
now?
status of the kitchen?
If there are kids around,
It has to be clean. Think about how many things have to be in place. The kitchen has to be clean.
Yes.
The dishwasher has to be off.
It could be going.
Oh, the dishwasher could be going. Okay, so
Sound.
just barely clean. just cleaned.
Clean, like countertops clear.
Countertops clear.
Because how are you going to do anything? Actually, on the countertops is not a good look either.
We got very tall countertops.
Yeah.
So, all right, so countertops clear.
Yes.
Okay. Then you got kids asleep, of course, right?
Maybe even kids gone.
Kids gone, because what happens if they come downstairs and get some water?
Yeah, that's not good.
Right. And I guess that's it, right? Lights off, lights on.
I don't know.
We got bright lights in the
It has
kitchen.
to be in the moment.
So this is the type of stuff where you're like, now it's not even romantic. Because I'm like, I'm trying to like calculate what is happening. Yeah, I'm off.
I mean, okay, I envision this. Low dim lights.
Got it.
Kids are either asleep or away for the night.
They definitely melatonined out. Dimetap.
I'm standing at the sink, washing dishes, doing whatever.
Oh, you're washing dishes?
You come behind me.
Okay.
With a gentle caress.
Okay.
And you turn me around and you're like, it's on.
Okay.
Don't you dare do that this week or anytime soon.
I won't.
It better be in like 10 months.
Okay.
Where I didn't just tell you.
Yeah. I'll ask ChatGPT to make it a random date.
What?
Give me a random date. I can do this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We have an email.
Let's do it.
I do not want to have a daughter, in all caps. Mind you guys, this email is from April. I apologize for, us.
Yeah, no.
I am so glad the podcast is back. Sorry. Anyways, I have been on the fence about sending this email. I would like to hear a third and fourth party's perspective on this situation. Ever since I was a teenager, I have always said that I never wanted to have a daughter. Granted, I know I am not God and I can't control what child comes into the world. I have reasons for saying what I have said, though. The main response is because I wouldn't be an example to look up to. Since graduating from university, I had bad experience after bad experience with female bosses. Every job I had, I get fired after 3 months. Reasons include I just don't fit in with the work culture or people don't respect me. These reasons also with my desire to get my master's has made me a threat to my bosses. I view myself as a failure and I don't want my hypothetical daughter to look up to a failure like myself. The second reason is that my sister called me cursed. Brief backstory, my sister and I had an okay relationship but grew up closer as I got older. Her distrust for me grew when I went to university to the point that if I asked for a ride to go home after a late study session, she would say no. She would later reveal to me that the reason she said no is because she assumed that I was using school time to date around and that I was lying about being in school. I never dated while I was in school. It got worse when I began dating my now fiance. They look down on him. They think he has no dreams or goals, which isn't true. He went from working in a warehouse to working in a 5-star hotel as a mixologist in less than 4 years. After losing my job, I thought I could have what went to my sister for comfort, which was a dumb decision. She assumed that I lost my job because of my poor clothes style. I told her no and the actual reason, and somehow it became my fiance's fault. When I told her he has nothing to do with my work because we are in completely different fields, she said I am cursed by just being with him because he isn't in our religion. He is Catholic. I was raised Pentecostal. The last thing you want to hear from after you get fired is you are cursed. I feel like having a daughter, my sister is going to treat her poorly because she is my child, and I am cursed to her. She would call her cursed. She told me the only way she would help me is if I break up with my fiance. One time she heard that there was an opening for a job that I was interested in, and she told our brother to tell me she would recommend me for the job, but I must break up with him first and live life the way they want me to live it. I don't want to bring a daughter into the world and have her suffer because I am her mother. Am I being ridiculous? Am I overthinking it? What advice do you have for me? Peace and love. Did we do this already?
I feel like we did this one. This sounds so familiar.
Okay.
This is like, I want to check back in with us, person, because
Are we going to respond to this?
Can you find another one while I
already have another one.
Okay. I just want to say something. You got toxic people in your life. Your sister is not good people's, and she doesn't know what she's talking about, right? So sometimes, like, you have people in your life, and I don't know if this is a new perspective. I think it is. But, like, some people love control, and they love manipulation. It's a part of what makes them feel alive, that they have something to control. But really, when you step outside of the family members or whatever, like, the world is so much bigger than them. You know what I mean? Like, there's people in our, atmosphere, right, that want to prevent what we're doing to prosper, right? Those are haters, you know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like, all right, I'm aware of that, but, like, I don't need no permission from nobody to do nothing. And the fact that you're wishing, like, I just think, one, you got to go to therapy. That is, like, so important, because you have some attachment to your family that's just unhealthy, that you would be wishing you didn't have a certain gender of child because you have a sister. Meanwhile, you're a female. You're a woman. That's wild.
Yeah, I think that would be my main point of advice, too, is that you're not going to be able to control whether or not you have a boy or a girl. And regardless of that, I think you need to go to therapy to deal with some of that family of origin trauma that you are experiencing in order to show up better for any child, whether it's male or female, and to help you create better boundaries. I mean, we all could always work on that, but I think that boundaries within your relationships with your siblings is very important.
Yeah, I mean, I wish somebody would try to tell me I'm cursed. How I'm cursed, your breath stink. I'm cursed. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
Like, how I'm cursed. All right, next one. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Sorry for the repeat, but I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, sorry. If you didn't catch that episode, I wish I knew which episode number it was. We gotta do
It's
a
from
better
April.
logging.
But that's not my gift.
It's not mine
or
either.
my strength. Okay.
Actually, it is probably. All right. Good morning, Glenn and Yvette. Love the pod. I have a little bit of a different type of question today, but would love to hear your feedback. Starting with a question, and we'll follow up with the background question. What are ways or suggestions you would give a father that has been MIA from his children for the past 10 years? What role does the mother play in this situation? Background. I'll try to be brief, but our story crosses almost 3 decades. She starts in 1996 and she ends in 2023. So it's about to be a long one, y'all. Our names. Okay, so I think she's giving us fake names because it says names in quotation marks. So our names, Karen and William. In 1996, Karen and William date in high school. Karen knows the entire family, parents and siblings. William moves out of state 5 hours away in 1997. From 1997 to 2008, so that's about, 11 years, Karen and William live separate lives in each of their own cities. Karen, college, marriage, divorce. William, working, long-term relationship, 1 child. Relationship ends. During this time frame, they stay in contact via phone calls mainly, very sporadic over the years. Karen also stays in contact with the siblings and family of William during this time.
Do they both have 1 kid each? Sorry.
It just says Karen,
Married.
college, marriage, divorce.
Okay,
It doesn't say children.
Okay.
But she explicitly says William has 1 child. In 2008, Karen travels and visits with William and the family and gets pregnant that weekend by William. Together, they decided they will be co-parents and not pursue a relationship with one another. Okay. This is very getting interesting so quickly. Throughout the pregnancy, William is inconsistent with communication, goes MIA while Karen is pregnant. Karen has no way to reach out but stays in contact with the other family members. Karen had their son in late 2009. No word from William, no way to contact him. 2009 to 2012, so a 3-year period.
He better be in jail.
Karen and child travels and visits William's family. That's sweet of her. William doesn't interact much with Karen during this time. Okay, so William is there.
He's there.
Okay. Karen coordinates visits mainly through the family, but while there, William engages with the child and talks with Karen a little bit about the child. When not visiting, communication between Karen and William is very sporadic. Karen reaches out via email, Facebook, and sometimes William will respond and sometimes he doesn't. William now has another child with another woman. Yes, he's 3 kids in. Oldest, my child, and now another child a year or so younger than mine. Okay, 2012 to 2023, so this is 11 years. William is MIA. Absolutely zero communication with Karen and our child. Off and on, very sporadic communication with other children and the family. During these 11 years, Karen continues visiting the family in the other state to keep the relationship going with the son's siblings and family. William is nowhere to be found during this time. 2023, William is back. My child with him saw him last when he was 2 or 3 years old. He's now 13 years old. William shares with Karen that he wants a relationship with the son. He shares that he's been in a spiritual warfare for the last 10 or 11 years, which has kept him away. I believe drugs have definitely played a role in this. William recently traveled to us and visited with son for 4 days. Dinners and outings while he is here. Karen is there with them the entire time. My son is welcoming his father. He's open to building a relationship with him, but continues to say that it's weird and hard since his father has been gone for so long. William has since written an apology letter to both of them, apologizing for his absence, sharing his goal of wanting to build a relationship, but understanding it will be hard. Day by day, he says he's been back around 6 weeks. Day by day, he says. He's been back around 6 weeks now, and William has been consistent with reaching out to the son and talking with Karen about where he's been the last 11 years and how he's working through those things. William is currently taking parenting classes. He's sober. Karen and son will travel to visit William, siblings, and family in the next few weeks. As a family, we are healing and figuring out. There's no book for this. We are doing what we can. As a mom, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's a unique journey. Any feedback, guidance, advice, encouragement as we navigate new life is appreciated. Whew, I am holding back tears.
Sounds like This Is Us. I've never seen This Is Us.
I was like, I don't know. What storyline is that one? I mean,
it just sounds like something I seen when I was walking past the TV. Okay. Because you know how it crosses so many different, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to say you're doing outstanding. Mm-hmm. You are incredible.
Even the intentionality of maintaining a relationship with his family, with William's family.
You deserve better. Your son deserves better. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, what this man has dealt with, you know, be it a spiritual warfare or whatever, there were some choices that were involved. And he made those choices, and it just really sucks that you guys are going through that. And you are right to be cautious. Mm-hmm. You're right to be protective, because nobody wants to see their children lied to or promises broken or whatever. Like, it's just a sad situation all around. Mm-hmm. Glad that he's getting the help and doing the work. I think about, just from my perspective, me not, like Theo being 2 years old with his little fuzzy hair, leaving and missing all of this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Impossible. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's not my struggle. That's not my battle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't struggle with that type of stuff. So her question is, we are not qualified.
Yeah. It just says, what role does the mother play in this situation? And then at the end, she says, any feedback, guidance, advice, encouragement as we navigate new life is appreciated. And I think the role of the mother is to always see the child, like to always meet the needs of the child. And I feel like as long as your son is desirous of the relationship and you continue to be a part of every single interaction, I think that's okay. I think that is a good step. In order to work toward reconciliation, I think that if William is willing to have these conversations with you about where he's been over the last 11 years, I think that's a beautiful thing too. And at some point, like, the Lord will do a work on both your heart and his heart. But I think that I can't help but think about Kirk Franklin's story.
Oh, yeah.
And how he's 53 years old and he's been looking for his father his entire life. You know what I'm saying? And how he, like, even at 53 years old, there's this thing. There's been this void in his life for 53 years.
Yeah.
And he's felt it. And so for me, when I think about his story and I think about her son, I'm like, why not? Like, if William is doing the work and he's not bringing harm to you or to your child, I think it's okay to facilitate those interactions and that reconciliation with caution and with boundaries. And I think that William sounds like he's being receptive to those boundaries. Like he's willing to go at y'all's pace and do whatever you guys are comfortable for. But I think that whether we want to admit it or not, our parents, our mother, our father, whomever it is, it's such an important role in who we become and how we navigate life. And if your son gets an opportunity to know his father and to develop his own opinions or decide whether or not he wants him in his life or not, then let that be something that he gets to have a voice in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't help but think about Kirk Franklin when reading through this email.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I just kind of get angry because I'm like, like, your kids really need you, like, bad, like, real bad. And, I grew up in my mom's home predominantly throughout the school year, and, was in California in the summer times. And those were two different realities. But I needed my father on a daily. Like, I needed that because there was a certain amount of things that I become accustomed to or things that I've learned to fear by not knowing that I didn't have anything to fear. Like when you're around your father, you move different. I was watching somebody talk and his son was being, like he didn't have any situational awareness. Like while he was with his dad and he was like playing his game and like walking through the parking lot playing his game and stuff like that, he was like, bro, don't do that. You're out in the street. He was like, a car could hit you. He was like, that's not going to happen. And he was like, why? He's like, why don't you think it's going to happen? He's like, because I'm with you. You wouldn't let that happen. But that is like a type of security that we miss growing up without having dads on a daily. You know what I'm saying? So like that type of freedom is a luxury and we don't necessarily know what we're missing when that is not there. And so I guess for me, I'm like kind of interested in like telling you to knock it off. Like there's some things you entertain. There's some vices that you flirt with. There's some sin that you just allowed to just kind of frolic rambunctiously through your life, and it's not costing you anything now. but you do not know where that pain is going to show up later. So the things that you're addicted to now may come back and bite you in the butt or bite your child in the butt. And now you got this awkward situation because you didn't want to control it. And it's just this thing about like allowing people, like your lack of self-control and discipline, all of us, right? And I'm speaking to myself here. My lack of self-control and discipline and willingness to heal or reluctancy to therapy or whatever means that my childhood and my trauma will spill onto the people I care about most. It's like if I had a pint of my own blood and out of nowhere someone triggers me and I cut it and it spills over all of my children. And you know what I'm saying? It's like pain from my past that never got dealt with. It's just going to spill onto my children, all over the feet, all over their floor. They're going to track it through the house. It's like, it's a mess. And so I commend this man for now getting through this. But there's some of you guys that are like, yeah, that ain't never going to happen to me because I ain't going to do this. And man, you have no control over that. You really don't know how deep that sin is going to take you or how deep that addiction is going to take you. And so, yeah, man, I'm sorry for your, I'm sorry for that. That's very painful. And I'm sure that's not, though you're handling it well, it takes work to do that. That's not easy.
And I don't know if you're in therapy yourself, but I would even encourage you, if not a therapist, but to seek some sort of counsel or support in order to have the conversations that you can't necessarily have with your son or your ex or your baby daddy. Because I don't know. I guess you guys were in a relationship at some point. But I feel like too, when we are navigating these types of things, it's not even necessarily like an idle mind is a devil's playground, but like if you're in your head the whole time, it's not good. So it's good to get some of these things out, whether it's with a therapist or a trusted confidant, some wise counsel that you do life with on a regular. I think that would be a really good fit for you, because one thing you don't want to do is create a narrative of your son's father with your son. Like that should be his own thing. Actually, I don't even know anymore. Remember that clip I just showed you? The one with the 3 women that were talking about knowing stuff from the family history or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it goes back to that where it's like, does your son deserve to know everything about his father? Or maybe his father is telling him, to be honest, like where he's been and what he's been into.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that's relevant, but nonetheless, you don't want to be the person that is creating a narrative of your son's father for your son.
Really? I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I think that is something that I hear people do a lot. Like, I never said anything bad about him. I'm like, well, I wish you would have told me.
So that's why
I'm dealing with a psychopath.
That's the part that yeah. And I feel like too, in our relationship, you've tried to tell me about people and I didn't believe you. And then I had to experience it for myself.
I'm still trying to tell you about people.
All right. Now.
And I'm kind of like, you're not listening to me. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. There's nothing new here, right? Unless someone repents, has a radical experience with Jesus, or goes through some type of therapy healing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if cats is going to have a near-death experience. Like, I don't know what's going to change people. But I know if you thinking you're going to walk back into my life with that same BS, it's not happening. I have to protect me because I'm crazy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's thinking like, oh man, like you don't want to get on this person's bad side or whatever. Like, we all have the ability to go crazy. Like, and I don't want to go crazy. So I'm trying to protect me and my family. So yeah, man. How married are you, babe?
I'm so married that on my way here, I was like, you know what? I know I didn't see him eat breakfast. He's probably not eating lunch. Let me grab him something. And I was very intentional. I was like, I want to grab something a little bit healthy, not too whatever. So I picked you up some lunch on the way here.
That was very thoughtful.
You're welcome.
And so I did eat breakfast.
Oh, you did? What'd you have?
Whatever pancakes them kids didn't eat this morning and the
you
bacon.
You ate all of them?
No, not those. Everything that was on the kids' plate.
Oh.
So
you know what's funny? Because I was noticing, I was like, what happened?
I was sitting here, I was like, because you asked me if you want me to make you eggs. You was like, do you want me eggs? I was like, nah, I was going to try to make a juice. So then I was about to leave, and I'm like, dang, man, I didn't make my juice. I'm still hungry, and you had took the kids. So I was like, all right. I just took the bacon, and I just stacked them on the pancakes and just made little sandwiches.
Dude, I totally noticed because I was feeding Lily lunch and I was going to give her the bacon. And there was just one little piece left. And I was like, I was like, who ate the bacon? And then when I was like clearing off the countertop, I was like, huh? I was so confused. You ate the oranges too?
No, I didn't eat the oranges.
Theo had oranges on his plate. Or maybe I made him eat it. I think I made him eat it. All right. How married are you, my love?
I'm so married that this weekend I was trying to perfect the omelets. And so I made you your own special little omelet breakfast. And I know you don't really like eggs like that, but I try to make it special for you.
Yeah.
And you actually enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't really make omelets like that before, and I just wanted to try it, so I made it for you.
It was good.
All right.
And that's just how married we are.